It's 5:30, so we'll call to order this meeting for Monday, January 22nd. Jordan, would you start us off with a roll call?
Please respond by stating present. Councilmember Ronayne,
Present.
Faubourg, Liebelt,
Present.
Reif,
Present.
Johnson, Reinbold,
Present.
Langer,
Present.
Norvstrup,
Present.
Mayor Shoneman.
Present. Please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. First order of business will be to approve this week's meeting agenda. Not aware of any changes, so I would take a motion to approve as printed.
Move to approve.
Got a motion from Councilman Liebelt, a second from Councilman Reinbold. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next, we've got a single meeting minute to approve, and that is for the previous meeting, which occurred on January 16th last week. Take a motion to approve the minutes.
Move to approve.
Got a motion, Councilman Reinbold, second. Councilman Norvstrup, anything from the council as far as changes? All right, then all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, nay. Motion carries. Now, you guys were probably wondering about that photograph we just took. Casey, why don't you tell us a little bit about that award? Congratulations. We'll start by saying, over there at the tourism conference.
Yes, sorry to interrupt your meeting. So Aberdeen was selected as the Cackling Community Award winner for 2023. And what does that mean? It's just a celebration of the marketing efforts on behalf of the city, everybody coming together as a community, city council, business owners, CVB, and all of our partners that we work with to celebrate and welcome the hunters that come into the community and spend lots of dollars. So again, Aberdeen was selected amongst our peers at the South Dakota Tourism Conference. For communities on the east half of the state, this is kind of a big deal, you know, with the hunters and the hunter traffic and the dollars that come in. So we wanted to bring this here tonight and get a photo with City Council and share it with you guys and gals and say thank you for all you do for allowing us to maybe step a little heavy during pheasant season and welcome those hunters and try to paint the town orange. So this is for you and for the city of Aberdeen and for everybody that's involved. So thank you.
Congratulations, Casey. Well deserved, and appreciate your efforts with all of that. Always a good time at the tourism conference. Next, we've got our consent calendar, where we've got 4 items of routine city business, including lottery, a shooting gallery, some minutes from various boards, as well as a single flat item to be considered. I would take a motion to approve our consent calendar.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion Reinbold, second. Norvstrup, anything from the council on any of these items?
Mayor,
Go ahead.
I was curious what the shooting gallery is going to look like.
I think I can answer that question. So they're going to be renting a business or a suite at the mall, and that youth group is going to be setting it up where they're going to be able to utilize BB guns with a backstop and safety glasses and different things to do their training and to develop skills. And then on a different night, they're going to do archery in the same way. And the facilitator is responsible, and it's going to be closed off to the general public, so nobody can go into the area that they're doing that. So I talked with the organizer, and I felt comfortable with the safety features that they're bringing into that. And maybe at some point I'll wander out there, just kind of look at it, but I'm confident it's going to be okay.
Yeah, good. It sounded interesting. A rifle shooting range at the mall. I was just
That's
curious.
right. I think it might be miscategorized a little bit, given the BB gun status of this thing, but sounds good on print. Dave, thanks for the footwork on that, keeping us safe and in order as it relates to that sort of thing especially. So we've got our motion, we've got our second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, say nay. Motion carries. No old business, so we'll skip ahead to our new business, where we've got 2 items to discuss here tonight. The first is the possible approval of our 2024 water treatment chemicals. And here to talk to us a little bit about that and presenting to our council for the first time in quite some time is Janelle Ellingson. Janelle, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. So I am just requesting that we approve the polymer chemicals for the treatment plant. We've had 2 bidders. One, we have never used their polymers, so we want to do a trial. I was hoping for nice warm weather all winter, and that didn't happen, and polymer doesn't ship well, so I'd like to award to Occupure and then run the trial this summer or spring.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion from Councilman Ronayne and a second from Councilman Ryan Bolt. So kind of dipping your toe in the water with these guys, given the new nature of it, and then if things do not go well, you'll be back and we'll approve the other bid?
So, no, this would be to approve the Occupure that we've had for a long time, that we've used for a long time.
Oh, sure.
And then we'll trial the Sioux Valley Environmental ones, compare them to the current ones we're using. And for 2025, if they compare favorably, then they would be, we'd be able to award to them without going through this process again.
All right. So just so I'm clear, so the prices that we see on our little grid here for the Aquapure ink, and they were presumably a little bit less money for the alternate?
For the other, correct. But because we've historically used the Occupure, and this is the first year we have this other quote, we want to be able to ensure that the treatment is consistent and comparable before awarding them the lower, because they are lower. We need to have them prove that they can perform as required.
Thank you, Janelle. Any other questions from the council? All right, then, Jordan, would you give us a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Ronayne,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Reif,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Langer,
Aye.
Norvstrup,
Aye.
Mayor Schoeneman.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you for joining us.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
that explanation. Next, we've got our possible approval of a bid in the amount of $3,807,754.52 to Prame in Construction Incorporated out of Slayton, Minnesota, for our 10th Avenue Bridge rebuild project. And Stuart Nelson will tell us a little bit about that bid.
Thanks, Mayor. You may notice I did not, the bid tab didn't get included in the packet, so I just handed those out if you're interested. So yes, the engineer's estimate on this was about 3.3 million, and we have obtained a bridge improvement grant through the DOT for 2.6 million. And the only bid that we had came in at 3.8 million. So we're about 1.2 million off. And Robin, you can correct my numbers here if I'm erroneous, but I believe we have about 400,000 set aside. That was previously budgeted and set aside for this project. And then we plan on using, we have roughly about $1 million allotment from the DOT for transportation improvement projects. So we plan to use about 800,000 of that to make up the difference and be able to construct the bridge here in this or next construction season. Additionally, Prom was the contractor that did the 3rd Avenue Bridge for us here about 3 years ago, 3 or 4. and they did good work. So we have a good positive working relationship with them, and believe that we'll get a good product out of this. And that 10th Avenue Bridge has been posted for a number of years. It's beyond its service life by quite a ways. So it's time to get it replaced. Yeah, like Robin just said, about 50 years. So I think mid 70s, early 70s. Yeah.
I have a question. How long will this project take? Roughly?
It'll probably be about one of those typical construction season projects. They'll start in the spring, and then be done by October or so.
Within the year?
Yeah. So
That's good. Thank you.
I'll move to approve the project.
I've got a motion from Councilman Renee and a second from Councilman Norvstrup, and I'm kind of paging through the estimate that we're taking a look at here, and they had a substantial amount of excavation for riprap. What was above and beyond what we had anticipated, several $100,000. What do you think is the disparity there? Or what is the additional workload on their part?
which bid item
It'd
number
be
was that?
72.
I think that is around the abutments, if I remember right.
It's without really talking to the contractor, and obviously we, because we don't have a contract with them yet, we don't really have a lot of communication with them. It would be hard for me to speculate as to why we're, 12, 15 times more what the estimate was there.
I just wondered if the project kind of taken on a new life with that riprap process.
It must have something to do with, like Robin said, it's around the abutments, and there may be something with the terrain that might make it difficult, and they might have to go through a significant amount of extra effort to be able to accomplish it. But I guess until we talk to the contractor, I'm just speculating.
All right, thanks, Stu. I appreciate that. Justin, what have you got?
Why don't we ever do any of the removing the traffic sign, removing some of the concrete curb and gutter? Is that something we can do to save some money on that, or is that not? We just bid it out and have them do everything. I mean, I know it's not going to save a lot of money overall.
We're certainly capable of doing that. One of the things that happens is you have a contractor who comes in and has a set schedule for how they want this to be accomplished, and sometimes our schedule and their schedule don't mesh up terribly well. When it comes to concrete work itself, we typically will have a contract for that ourselves, so we don't do a lot of actual concrete work. We generally will have a contractor doing that. As far as asphalt and stuff, we certainly are capable of doing that. But I think it's really more of a, you want the project to go smoothly, so
right.
You allow the prime contractor to kind of dictate how that falls together.
One thing that I will add is that if we do that type of stuff, this is during our normal busy season as well. So if we're doing that to save money, there's something else we probably are not getting done that we already are expected to be accomplishing. So sometimes you're trying to be a slave to two masters at the same time. So.
Thank you.
All right, guys, any other questions from anyone on the council as it relates to this bid? Jordan, would you give us a roll call vote then, please?
Councilmember Norvstrup.
Aye.
Langer.
Aye.
Reinbold.
Aye.
Reif.
Aye.
Liebelt.
Aye.
Ronayne.
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
Aye, motion carries. Thanks for that explanation, Stu. I appreciate that. Next, we've got a review and approval of our claims and payroll. Payroll is for January 14th through the 27th. Bills are, of course, this week, January 22nd. I would take a motion to pay our bills.
Move to pay the bills.
Second to pay the bills.
Motion, Councilman Wright. Second, Councilwoman Liebelt. Jordan, would you give us a roll call, please?
Councilmember Ronayne,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Reif,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Langer,
Aye.
Norvstrup,
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
Will abstain to the payment to climate control. The rest, aye, and that motion does carry. Next, we've got our city manager's report. Robin, what have you got for us this evening?
Two items. I've received the draft report from the consultant on kind of the review of our water supply options. I'm going through that. We'll do a report back to the council here shortly after that has been completed. And we will be sending a delegation of folks to Pier tomorrow to visit with legislature, and it's going to be related to funding for water projects tomorrow. And in a couple weeks, we'll also be going to Pier for discussion with legislature regarding just in general legislation that's taking place and things that are important to us as a municipality. So we'll be spending a little bit of time in Pier over the next few weeks here. So that's all I got.
Thank you, Robin. Well, why don't we have a single item in our executive session to discuss, so why don't we take a few moments?
So, Mr. Mayor, I would just like to add, so that the press is aware, that in executive session, we'd also like to add discussion on contractual matters. We have personnel matters listed, so we'll include that as well.
All right. Thank you, Robin. Ron, or whatever your name is.